Alright, so in this vid today, I'm going to be speaking about the Toronto Raptors, and I'm going to be discussing whether or not this is finally their year to make it out of the Eastern Conference and through to the NBA Finals. But before I get into that, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. My link to the social media will be down below in the description, alongside any other links to support the channel, but I'd appreciate it. But without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So, the Toronto Raptors are, in my opinion, in the stage of true contention. Last season, they really did show great signs of promise, and were kind of coming out of their I won't call it a tanking year, but that year where they traded Kyle Lowry and things started to go downhill because they had injuries and they're playing in Tampa Bay. Last year was a real sign that, look, we had that 1 year off, we got our man in Scottie Barnes, now we're ready to contend. Now, I genuinely feel like, last year was a very good step in the correct direction, and I definitely feel like the Toronto Raptors could be deadly in the sense that if they run it back with their entire team now, with Scottie Barnes coming back better, you've got OG coming back even better now, and damn, by the way, Scottie Barnes is just ridiculous. Only God knows how good he can truly be. Pascal becoming more of a leader, and their team kind of just being on a similar timeline to each other, and I definitely feel like they have a perfect mix of some young guys and also some vets that have been there, done that, won a chip, and they're ready to run it back themselves. Now, one thing that must be noted as well is that if a primetime player becomes available, the Toronto Raptors definitely have the assets because they have all of their first round picks to trade if they wanted to, and they have valuable young pieces like OG Anunoby or Gary Trent Jr. who may be available to trade if a star becomes available. For example, someone like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander became available. This is someone who's a tall guard. He's around 6'5", 6'6". He plays the defensive side of the ball and is a great offensive initiator and good scorer. This is someone who will definitely fit the Toronto Raptors timeline, and like I said, they have the assets to pull off this trade. Now, this was just an example, as I genuinely believe the Raptors have enough as currently constructed to genuinely contend. And what impresses me the most is the amount of versatile wing players they have that can really guard multiple positions. Now, with the addition of someone like Otto Porter Jr., who's fresh on a championship ring, I feel like he'll add invaluable experience to young guys like OG Anunoby, mainly because he knows exactly what it means to be a 3-and-D wing in this league. And similar to OG, he had his time in Washington where he was expected to take that leap, was given a big contract, and maybe didn't take the leap he expected. Maybe he can help OG out to not make the same mistakes that he did, and OG could potentially ascend into being an all-star level player because he definitely has the potential. Now, I'm going to get straight to the point here. There's 3 players who really hold the key to this team becoming a true contender. I'm talking about with a genuine chance to make it to the finals, and those 3 players is Scottie Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Fred VanVleet. Now, why would I say such a thing? So let's start off with Pascal. So in my opinion, Pascal has continued to ascend this game and definitely taken the leaps we've expected him to take and beyond. Like, Pascal Siakam is someone who is desperately overlooked by the NBA media for some weird reason, and he continually showed his improvement, because I remember there was a couple seasons ago where the narrative was that Pascal was getting worse, when all he was doing was getting better year by year and adding more skill sets to his bag. And I feel like Pascal's a deadly player. Like, just this past season, he didn't make the All-Star team, but he made All-NBA third team, because Pascal is someone who may not be flashy, but he'll get you 25 points per game on very good defense and great efficiency as well. This is someone who, in my opinion, if he takes another leap next season to maybe being an All-NBA first, second team type player, then the Raptors are really going to be scary, and there's not much that can really hold them back. Now, continuing on to Fred VanVleet. Now, in my opinion, Fred VanVleet may have hit his ceiling, which is an all-star level player who can get you 20 points per game on very good defense. Now, the thing about Fred that, in my opinion, might need to improve is his efficiency, because Fred's a great playmaker and he's a very good offensive player and two-way guard. But I just feel like Fred VanVleet can become more of an efficient player and average the same amount of points on a higher efficiency. This would genuinely help the Raptors just become a more efficient offensive team, because I do feel like in that series against the Sixers before he did get hurt, there was a lot of times where Fred VanVleet was really chucking up shots. You may disagree, but this is just my observation, and I feel like he has the skill set and ability to become more efficient, but I feel like that will come with time. And if Fred makes this jump, then the sky's the limit. Like, the thing I have to pick out for Fred is so minute, because in my opinion, he's probably one of the most ideal guards to have in the league, and he's definitely a perfect guy to have next to Pascal and Scottie. Now, speaking of Scottie, we're going to move on to him, and he, in my opinion, is the biggest factor to this team becoming successful, because you've got someone that's 6'7", 6'8", that can run the floor in transition, that can push the ball at essentially a higher pace than most NBA guards, and he's a brilliant defender. This guy can genuinely guard 1, 2, 3, 4 at an elite level, and this is only after year 1. Imagine how good he can be as a defender, because someone like Ben Simmons, who people love to hate, was one of the best versatile defenders in the league. In his first season or two, he was only an above average defender. Scottie, in my opinion, is genuinely elite after 1 year, and after his second year, God knows how good he can be. Now, the ascension he needs to take, in my opinion, to really become the star co-star on his team alongside Pascal Siakam is definitely his beyond the arc shooting. Now it comes with time, because in my opinion Scottie's form is not broken. It's just the fact of him getting in more repetitions and becoming more comfortable from beyond the arc, and as that starts to happen, the floor's going to open up for him, and it's going to become even harder to guard Scott on a night-to-night basis, because already he almost has everything you'd want in a young player. So if he just takes this ascension and this leap here, then like I said, the Raptors are really going to be a problem. Now let me know what you guys feel in the comment section down below about the Toronto Raptors. Obviously there's certain variables that could happen. Let's say Scottie Barnes takes a smaller leap, Pascal Siakam basically stays the same, but players like OG take a big leap, Gary Trent take a big leap. That could definitely elevate the Toronto Raptors into the conversation with the Boston Celtics, with the Golden State Warriors. But I just feel like as a whole, this team has a lot of potential, and I just feel like they're going to be a great problem in this league, because they have a perfect match of superstars in Pascal Siakam and a budding one in Scottie Barnes. They have some of the best role players in the entire NBA. Someone like Pascal Siakam, who's come a long way. He went from someone who's barely attempting threes to joining the Toronto Raptors and becoming a very respectable three-point shooter, and in my opinion this year could elevate into being a very good one. Now let me know what you guys feel about the Toronto Raptors in the comment section down below. I personally feel that they're a very scary team, but let me hear your thoughts. Do you feel like I'm stretching? Do you feel like I'm talking rubbish? Do you agree with me, or do you partially agree and disagree? I'd love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for listening to the video. I really do enjoy the extended support. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you for listening. Have a blessed